when I've said that religious liberty is a Trojan horse ushering in the enemy of our nation, I'm speaking specifically of Islam. Christianity founded America, and one of Christians' values is that we are a religion of proposition, in that we propose Christ.
Right.
We invite a decision. Islam is a religion of imposition, convert or die. And so Islam is fundamentally incompatible with Christianity and fundamentally incompatible with the West in general. And so to give Islam sanctuary in our nation, I don't think is tenable long term. Now, it's not popular to say, and it's like at this point, how would we roll it back? The only way to roll it back, in my mind, is mass deportation.
Right.
I think I saw some stat like 120 mosques have gone up around the Dallas area in the last year. That, don't fact check me, that might not be exactly accurate, but the point being, it's a lot.
Right.
Mosques have very little challenge in getting a place built. Good luck trying to build a Christian school in many of our states right now. So there's blatant discrimination against the Christian worldview, and there's this weird, I think it's demonic, welcoming of what is, I believe, at its core, demonic religion. How can you say that about millions of people? Because it's true. It's a religion founded on a guy who went in a cave and saw an angel of light who gave him a revelation that was different than the revelation of Christ. Like, we literally have Bible verses that tell us that Satan, goes around and what's the phrase?
Masquerades
as an angel of light. So it's like Muhammad saw Satan and got a vision, an alternative counterfeit vision, and started a religion that kills Christians. I'd say that's demonic.
Yep.
And just talk with a missionary today who's been a missionary to Muslim countries for 30 years.
Wow.
And the stories he has. I mean, one of their best missionaries for 17 years grew up fighting Muslims that were massacring people in his country, and they would clean their guns during math class and then go out on lunch break to defend their village from the hoarding Muslims that were raping and pillaging and burning and murdering Christians, and then go back to math class and clean his gun, having just used it on lunch break with blood on him from the battle.
Wow.
Like that was his childhood.
Wow.
This is a normal experience for countries that are being ravaged by the scourge of the Muslim religion. And this whole idea of like, well, there are peaceful Muslims and non-peaceful Muslims. It's like the only peaceful Muslims are bad Muslims. Right. Or they're posing as peaceful in order to take over. I mean, it's like, what in The Art of War, the book, he talks about believing what the enemy says about themselves. Right. It's like, take them at their word. And for some weird reason, there's like this demonic cloud over our nation right now where we refuse to take them at their word.
Right.
And they're like on street corners in America talking about how they want to topple America, bring a holy war and caliphate to our nation. They want to, it's a political jihad, fighting with ballots. And if that doesn't work, then they'll use bullets. I mean, like, they're saying these things from, and like, if they were like in some Middle East country spouting off in some cave in a little iPhone, whatever, bro. But when they're on American soil, stating how they want to take a few congressional seats in Texas, in these key states, and they can flip the whole, because they're all pro-Democrat, they're all pro-woke. And if you ask yourself why, it's because woke is like the gateway drug to Muslims, because woke softens everyone with toxic empathy, and everyone gets a little red wagon, and you whatever, and we can't say anything bad about anybody.
That's right.
Woke goes in, softens the men, and then the strong Islam men come in and take over.
That's right.
And so it's like, ask yourself why Muslims don't vote Republican. They don't want strong constitutionalists.
Yeah.
They don't want strong America first. They don't want strong people saying, you're welcome to come if you're willing to assimilate into our culture.
That's right.
So Muslims don't assimilate other cultures. They take over other cultures. We have a culture in the West. It's young men marrying freely, women marrying freely, building families, planting churches, starting businesses, starting schools like we've done. The story of the West. We have Western culture has a story. America has a story that's completely antithetical to the Muslim story.
Right.
We have a rule of law in the Constitution. They have Sharia law. It's very different. So I'm watching videos being made of political candidates running as like pro-jihadist Muslims espousing the benefits of Sharia law. This is wild. This is wild. And so there's just this demonic cloud, I think, that's over our nation right now. And it's all being done in the name of quote unquote religious freedom.
Right.
It's like, no, religious freedom was designed we came over here because there was an oppressive king telling us you have to worship God one way. It's like, no, we want the freedom to worship God as a Baptist, as a Lutheran, as a Presbyterian, or as a Methodist. So it was all distinctly Protestant Christian.
Yes.
And it was not, hey, one size fits all, you're free to worship any God you want.
That's right.
And that's what kind of the George Bush era religious liberty has turned it into, which I've been very thankful for this administration that's very explicitly speaking about America as a Christian nation.
Yes.
Easter is, we celebrate the resurrected Christ, not Tranny Day on the South Lawn of the White House.
Yep.
And so, all these things are super controversial, I'm saying, and like, are we ever going to go back to that? I don't know. But what I can tell you is to give sanctuary to Islam is to damn your nation. It is. There is no nation that has given sanctuary to Islam that is happy they did it. If Islamic nations were thriving, why are they all coming over here? Wherever it goes, it's a scourge. Wherever it goes, it takes over, and it's not for the better. So there's some very serious conversations we need to be having about. Right. So interesting. I was talking to someone last night. The Dearborn, Michigan phenomena, where it's basically Sharia law and the demonic prayer call going out how many times a day, silencing the church bells, and now it's the prayer call. That feels like a recent phenomena. I talked to someone yesterday whose good friend was from Dearborn, and she said, no, they started this 30 years ago.
Wow.
This was a concerted effort. They started in Dearborn, Michigan 30 years ago because they're playing the long game.
Right.
Well, now it's falling over. Now it's happening quickly, but they're shooting for 2050. It's like, we want America to be a Muslim nation in 2050. We're willing to work slowly towards it now. And what I'm saying is Americans aren't thinking like that.
Right. Because
we've just gotten soft. The oceans have protected us by and large from invasion until we welcomed it in the Obama and Biden administration by opening the borders to let 20 million illegal immigrants in who are refusing to assimilate.
Right.
So if you have immigration without assimilation, it's invasion by definition, right? Immigration with assimilation is America. Right. But when they get up and say, New York was built by immigrants and I'm an immigrant, and everyone cheers, big emotion. No. What he's talking about is not what built America.
Right.
The immigrants that built America came to America and bought into the American values, American ideals, and the value system of the West and wanted to build that.
Right.
What he's talking about is coming as an immigrant, quote unquote, bringing a different value set and then imposing it on America. I'm talking about the Mandami, the mayor of New York. He said himself, he's like, we're not here to assimilate. We're here to remake this city in our own image.
Right.
Speaking explicitly of his Muslim religion.
Right.
That's terrifying. And so we have a 5-alarm fire right now in our nation. And those of us who are 40 or 50, what's most damnable is there's a good chance that we won't fully live to experience the effect of what we're causing. We'll be 70, 80 or dead, but our kids will, and our grandkids will. And right now our kids are young enough, or our grandkids aren't yet born. This isn't their fight. Our kids aren't savvy enough to see these things. We're the ones at 40 and 50 who should be seeing this, calling it out, and doing whatever we can to push back against it. Because if we don't, when we're dead at 70, it could be too late. We could be at a tipping point, and now our kids are having to figure out how to respond to an Islamic jihadic invasion where the only way to push back is with bullets and guns.
Right.
And at that point, it'd be too late. So mass deportation is the answer. Will it happen? Trump's trying the narrative. ICE is. I just watched a documentary yesterday on how many IA videos are getting pushed out. That are complete AI generated, completely, ICE agents tearing mothers away from a crying baby in a Walmart parking lot, stacking McDonald's workers into buses and driving them off. Completely fabricated.
Right.
1,000% fake news, and it's being gobbled up by the millions. And then there's all this fake outrage at things that aren't even happening. Now, who's funding that? Now you got conspiracy theories of Arab nations and, Palestine. I mean, who knows? But people have to wake up, man. They have to wake up to what's happening in our nation. And if we don't get more discerning, and if we don't get more, how do I say it, firm in our convictions of what it means to be a Christian nation. At the end of the day, I am way rambling right now, Monday afternoon. At the end of the day, we're a Christian nation.
That's right.
Like, that's fundamental to the American experiment. And if we give that up, well, then it makes sense to vote in a communist Muslim mayor in America City and establish a demonic stronghold for the invasion of our nation. It's like, well, who cares? We're not a Christian nation. If we are a Christian nation, then we need to seriously consider what that means. And it does not mean letting Muslims take over our country. Right. Oh, be kind to the immigrant. I mean, this is just so obnoxious. People that have read one verse in the Bible and think they're a Bible scholar. If you read the Old Testament, what was the requirement for coming into Israel?
Yeah, obey all the laws.
Obey all of the laws.
Yep.
Assimilation was a requirement.
Yep.
And if there was an unwillingness to assimilate, it was annihilate.
Yeah.
And so, the David Frenches of the world and the Russell Moores of the world that are out there spouting to be Christian is to open our borders and to welcome, is this utopian, naive concept that everyone coming up here is going to love our country and work for its betterment and not live on the take and not live on entitlements and not suck our resources dry to damn our grandchildren to debt and burden. It's like, hey, wake up. Stop using Bible verses to push your secular, godless, progressive agenda because they don't support that. The Old Testament is very clear. Welcome the immigrant and require them to assimilate and obey all the laws or it doesn't work.
That's right.
And so obviously we're pro-legal immigration, welcoming in those from other nations who want to come help build America. But there are a set of values that go along with being America that you have to buy into or it won't work because a divided house can't stand. And that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
Don't stop here. Go watch the full message by hitting the video right here. And if you're looking for free resources and tools to strengthen your marriage, manhood, leading your family, and growing as a stronger man, head over to strongermannation.com. We've got resources and podcasts that dive deep into real life issues, fatherhood, marriage, and intimacy, and how to live clear-eyed in a confused culture.